Hello, everyone. This is June 22nd, 2025, and this is Pedro Baez with Go for Glory Stable, and we are going to cover the last 2 weeks in this video in a summary fashion. So I'm going to go pretty quickly. Last weekend I was in Tioga Downs, some of you may know, and had a great time. Strongly recommend everybody to try it out if you go there. But yeah, so it was nice to see a bunch of people actually made it up, and talking to Rob Harmon over there as well. So all right, let's jump right into it for the summary of the horses. I'm going to go into alphabetical order, all 20 horses, and we'll be quick. So uh, Adios, my Lindy. She trained on Thursday at Vernon Downs and caught up with Paul yesterday. Pretty detailed conversation, long conversation, and on all the horses. And but she did well. He took all the babies. So Adios, my Lindy, second chapter, Geologic, complimentary, who we don't have. He took all four babies up there, Vernon Downs. It's just easier for him to go to Vernon. He's been doing that for 30, 40 years when he was stable in Saratoga. It's just easier for the horses to get to go to do speed on Vernon versus like Saratoga where you have a half-mile track. But Adios My Linda, she was okay over there. She had typical baby, you know, she broke during the mile, during the training mile. Um, but it's just typical baby stuff, you know. So basically she was like 10 lengths, like 3 to 4 lengths behind Geologic. There were two horses training at once, and there was just mud flying all over her face. And when you're that far away, the mud kind of travels higher. Where when the horse is right on the helmet of the other horse, the horse in front of it, it doesn't, the mud kind of goes into their sternum, like their chest or their legs. But when they're that far back, the mud's kind of flying up more. So she was getting mud in her face. First time she's ever had that where she was getting dirt hitting her right in her eyes and her face. So she broke. Typical baby stuff. Paul said it's fine. Nothing to worry about. It's just something that it's the first time she's ever had that happen to her. So it's a normal thing. So he's gonna take them back this week again to Vernon Downs for even faster training. But she's been doing well all along. So she's actually been very well. One of the you know better babies, at least up to this point. But we'd still a long way to go. But she's doing fine. Artist Best, he's our next horse. He's our newest horse. So Artist Best, we claimed him on Friday at Meadowlands at on June 20th from a Meadowlands amateur race. He's doing fine. He's healthy. He's sound. He's a stud horse, so he's not a gelding. And he fits really well at Meadowlands, especially in that uh, MADC Meadowlands Amateur Driving Club class that goes for 11,500. So we'll see how he goes. The race week, you can't determine how the races go, especially when you claim a horse. So of course we claimed him, and they knew that we had a claim because Meadowlands announces a claim, and then of course they were driving like the world was going to end, and it was just a crazy drive. He went in 55 in the first half, and it was just two moves. It was just you see this a lot with the amateurs, and so it is what it is. So we just got to turn the page. He'll be in the box next week. Bluebird time. Bluebird time. He had a week off. He's been racing really well for 5 weeks in a row. You can see here the last race for us was at second in the final for 17.5, which is a 14,000 plus 25% New Jersey owned sire owned bonus. So he was really good. So he he's been the horse that we hoped he would be. We got him for a bargain, only $10,000, but he made almost 10,000 in the first month we got him. So he'll be back in next week in the same class. He still fits, and we're just gonna keep rolling with him. He's a really fun horse to have. Tarango. Tarango was sold on Monday the 16th, June 16th. She sold for 4,250. She just, Paul reiterated he wasn't making any progress. He was trying everything he could. I mean, we can spend a fortune to try to figure out what's wrong with her as far as why she's not pushing off her left hind like she should, and just not worth it. There's no the upside. There's not enough upside to kind of keep trying. So she's going to begin her career as a brood mare probably this spring, and so she's with a new owner now who's a breeder, I believe, and that's pretty much it. So that's how it goes. Thankfully, she was one of the cheaper. She was the cheapest one we got, the cheapest yearling we got, 12,000. So um, so that chapter's over, and we'll move on. Just keep trucking along. So the next horse we have is Charming Princess. Charming Princess. The only activity for her this past week was her race at Scioto Downs. That was a crazy. That was just. I mean, we thought that race might go in like 55 ish, maybe 56. That race went in 53. That's just you don't 53 for a non-winners of two. Come on, that's just it was crazy. So there were two horses that basically ran away from the entire field, and the rest, and then they were doing 53, 53 and one, 53 and two. The rest of the horses were doing like 56. So it was just a really brutal race, and um, she got around the track fine. Stacy's gonna make some equipment changes just to kind of make it, improve her a little more. But she's in to go on Wednesday next week at the 25th next week at the Meadows in a filly and mare. As you can see here, filly and mare non-winners of two race, really good race. She looks like she'll fit way better there, and she's only versus fillies and mares, and it's still a good purse. So we'll see how that goes. But um, she's like I said, nice horse, nice filly, 3-year-old. It's just that race was just way too difficult. Surprisingly difficult. So, but Scioto's, it's a lot of money over there, so that's just kind of how it goes. All right, so Conrad DePogio, Conrad DePogio, he had two races this past week. He had one race where I was there on the 14th, and then one race yesterday. So the race on the 14th, nothing could be done. First of all, he was at a really high level. Now one was at 10,000, which is quasi the Open at Tioga Downs. A lot of times it's kind of like the highest level race they got. So he had the 7 posts. He didn't get off the gate. He's a horse that needs to be put in play immediately to kind of know that he's needs to race hard type of thing. A lot of horses like that. Skybox is similar. He kind of has to be put in play. So Conrad, he didn't do anything. He went from the 7 post. He kind of took back and just kind of followed the horses the rest of the way. Came in eighth. But then, as you saw yesterday, very good second place. He got off the gate. I think he was sitting fourth at the quarter, first over move, and just grinded. And he was actually still coming at the end. So if he give him 20, 30 more feet, he probably wins that race. He was still coming. But he had a good strong second in like 55 ish. He was like one of the fastest miles in the day. So he's really good. He belongs in Tioga. Great spot for him. He's I think he fits non-winners of 6,000 next time, which is still a good race for him. So we'll just keep moving along. Drill, uh, Drill did not race this week. He had a week off. He raced last week, and he got let's see, he raced last week right here, and on the 12th, and he got another second. So he got 3 seconds in a row, and he's just been a nice horse. I mean, he fits Monticello, or let me phrase it, he fits that class really well, and he gets around the half no problem. He has a little bit of gate speed to get to the front, gets around the turns fine, closes fine. Stays on the helmet. Just a nice horse to have. He'll keep continuing to make money for us, and he'll be back in Monticello next week. Uh, assuming they card the race and everything, so he'll be back in. He's doing fine. Anola, Anola, she raced in the Open, the Filly and Mare Trot Open at Yonkers twice. So once last week, twice in the last 2 weeks, and she came in fifth both times. So it's just a really tough race. I mean, she had the inside post, but I mean, there's just some really really nice mare trotters, trotting mares in there. So Yonkers is like probably one of the hardest tracks to race at. So she came in fifth. There's nothing to to be sad about. I mean, she still competed well. There were other horses who didn't earn the checks at all. So her next step is planning for Tioga Downs next weekend, where she did really well for I think 2 or 3 races before she went to Yonkers, and so she'll be there. She's doing great. She's really nice trotting mare. You know, probably like more like a upper end type of trotter, and she's really good. So Aaron raced twice in the last 2 weeks, both at Tioga Downs, second place both times. First race was strange race because she was parked out, even though she had the four post, she was parked out. Just kind of how things unfolded, and she was parked out the entire race and still somehow got second place. So that first race was something was fascinating to see. But we know she's good, so that was a good race. The second race was yesterday, another second place, and kind of she wasn't parked out, but she had a four hole at the quarter, and then she basically followed a horse that I thought it was the favorite, 4-5 favorite, odds on, and that horse just kind of quit halfway, and then Aaron had to go three wide, chasing this horse, and then she came in second, but she was still right with that horse that won, and the horse that won was in the Saratoga Raceway Open. She's an open. That horse that won is an open trotter at Saratoga Raceway, so he's not a bad horse to lose to. He was winning the opens over there, so and the upper level condition trots over there. So, Erin's doing fine. She fits really well. She's competing. Hopefully she can get a win soon. But it's nice to have her out of Poconos and earning again. Uh, Next horse is Geologic. So Geologic, he trained twice. He trained at Meadowlands uh, Tuesday last week or Thursday the week before, but he trained in Meadowlands and then he trained in Vernon Downs Thursday last week, and both times very good. So Thursday and Vernon Downs, he trained in about 2:07. At Meadowlands, he was just in a jogging cart, but still did like 2:15 or so. And but at Vernon Downs, he went in 2:07. He was really good. The driver who's driving him, Jerry Madison, he's um he's very impressed with Geologic, and he gets around. Paul said he could train him fast in 2:07 around Saratoga because he gets around the turn so well, but he sent every horse over there to Vernon, and Geologic he didn't have any problems. So he went 2:07, did it easy. He could have went more. He's fine. So he's doing well. Um, and then just no, he's doing well overall. So um, him and Adios My Lindy, assuming all goes well. I should have mentioned this for Adios My Lindy, but they're going to train again on Thursday this week at Vernon Downs, probably a faster mile. And then if all goes well, the plan is probably next week. First week of July, they might qualify. So, um, first week or second week of July, they might qualify. Adios My Lindy, Geologic, complimentary. We don't have, and it's not second chapter. I'll get to in a little bit, but that's the plan. With Geologic, is doing really well. Nothing to note there. All right, let's move on to Just Rose's Luck. She's the next horse, the Claiming Club. She had she had that cut a few weeks ago, and like I said, she had the stitches, and then it was just kind of like the stitches were she kept moving around. The stitches were, one or two of the stitches were kept kind of coming loose or coming out because she kept moving around. But that was last week. This week she's fine. She's all healed up. She's been jogging since Tuesday last week, and she's planning to train this week on Wednesday. And then after her training mile, she will train probably again on Saturday. Maybe when we're there at Big Z. So she's moving forward, and we hoping just to kind of keep training her back, and then hopefully getting her rolling again. Once she's ready. But she probably deserves this break. Not probably. She deserves this break. She's been racing hard all winter. Nice mare, pacing mare, and she should be good. Once this is once she's past this. Going to Vegas is our next horse. She did not race this last week or this week. and she had that last her previous race at Tioga Downs in the Excelsior. She banged her right knee pretty good in that race, and then it kind of like there wasn't anything structurally wrong. It's just she banged it like really hard, like if someone one of you guys banged your knees or something. So it just got swollen a little bit, and the vet was just treating it. She's still jogging, so she's still exercising and everything, but Paul just right now we're just trying to make as much money as we can with her. She's gonna make her money when we sell her as a broodmare, or as a horse to breed to later in the fall. So we probably won't see her for like a week or two. Just Paul wants to make sure that knee gets completely taken care of, and that's pretty much it. But she's jogging, you know, nothing like I said, just nothing structurally wrong. It's just she just hit her knee pretty good. So she's hopefully we see her back in a few weeks. So Moneyman, Moneyman raced. He had that race in the Constellation that he came in sixth, and it was no fault of his own. Paul asked to drive Brett Beckwith to get off the gate and put him in position, and he was in position. It's just it went a lot faster in that first quarter than everyone hoped. And then at the end, of course, he ran out of room. Brett Beckwith ran out of room. He tried to go inside. Yannick went up the inside and actually won on the inside, so Brett made the right move. But didn't open. He tried to go back outside, didn't open. So we kind of got boxed in there in the stretch. And Brett said Bunnyman was loaded with trot, even through the stretch, just had no room. That's just kind of how it just how it is. So um, the key with Moneyman is his main races are in September in the Massachusetts. His next big races are in Massachusetts in September and October. So between now and then, Paul's not going to race him like every week, like an overnight horse. He's not going to be going 3, 4, 5 times in a row, like Bluebird and stuff like that, or Drill. He he's gonna Paul's targeting him for Massachusetts, so we probably you'll probably see his races spaced out, like you know, like he's not going to race this coming Monday, but the Monday after that, Paul's going to try to race him at Saratoga, just to kind of keep him fit and keep him in shape and stuff like that. So that's his story, and he's doing great though. He's healthy, sound, doing fine. Um, Muscle Bart, Muscle Bart, he was scratched sick from his race last week at Yonkers Raceway in the 25 claimers. He actually fit that race really well, but he had a 104 fever in the paddock. Very lethargic going around the track in the warm-ups. Was never on the bit. So Aaron Lambert, the trainer Aaron Lambert, just he decided the best thing was to scratch him, which I agree with. Don't race a horse that we know is not going to do anything, or is not healthy enough to race to his potential. We want to get him healthy. He's been doing really great for us, so we'll see when his next race is. Right now, he just needs to get healthy. Um, Ship's Revenge, she is doing fine in Big Z with Rob and Patty. She shipped in from Indiana a few days ago, and she's healthy, sound, doing fine, jogging. So, we're happy to have her. We're her best. We're probably going to target Saratoga Raceway with her first start. I don't know if she's going to be in the box this week or in the box next week. Um, so we'll see. But she's as long as everything progresses, she's going to get raced pretty soon, and she fits really nice. So and she gets around the half really good. So we're excited to have her and looking forward to seeing her how she does over here. Skybox is in to go on Monday. Let's just keep our fingers crossed that the temperature doesn't is not too crazy. Plain Ridge is notorious for um, if it gets too hot, a lot of times they'll cancel races and whatnot. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that things things stay on track. He raced last week at Plain Ridge and was very good. He backed to his own self. He went in 55, going away. You know, he won easily, and we gotta, that's the horse we've been looking for. His head's higher now, so his feet aren't not clipping his heels anymore. Or at least he didn't do it last race. And Paul said he's doing great. He said he fits that. It's like Drew Campbell is the best driver for him. He's more of an aggressive driver, and Skybox needs more of an aggressive driver. So we'll just see how it goes on Monday. Soho Skyfall. He had this week off, much deserved. This guy's been basically 1, 2, 3 almost every time he races. Basically, almost every time he races. The only time not was when he broke that weird time. Um, but he'll be back in the box for Sunday or Monday at Saratoga Raceway in that same class. Let's just hope he draws well, and he fits like a glove. He's a really nice horse. I mean, it's hard to find horses that have the ability to fly off the gate. The elite gate speed that he has, gets around a half, keeps trying. So very happy to have him. He's just a nice horse. So right now he fits Saratoga, so we're gonna keep him in Saratoga. Eventually he'll win out of those classes, and then we'll find the best place. But I don't think we've seen the best of Soho yet. I think he's just still kind of moving forward and grinding, doing his job. So he's doing really well. Steal the Century. Uh, he's doing great. He went in 2:15 and in Ontario with trainer Paul Reed. So he's gonna qualify. Hopefully, probably same as Geologic and Adios Marlindi. He might qualify next week or the week after in Ontario. Assuming all things keep going well, and we'll see where Paul races him. Probably in overnights. Yeah, and then we'll see whether he does the grassroots. Ontario Gold. I'm sure he'll have to kind of see where he fits and then put him where he fits. But yeah, it's first step is let's just keep hoping that the next week or two goes well with him, and then let's we'll get the text or the email that he's ready to qualify, and then just keep our fingers crossed. And this he might be, we'll see. He might be our first qualifier. Maybe Paul Kelly will have our first qualifiers. We'll see, but it's good. It's good. It's a nice time. So he's a state treasurer. State treasurer? No, he's a Century Pharaoh pacer. So we'll see how that goes. So next horse is second chapter. Second chapter, he trained also in 207 last week on Thursday at Vernon Downs. He did it really well. His thing is, so he's gonna get so Paul's deciding that he's gonna get gelded um, on Wednesday next week. He has an appointment on Wednesday next week to get gelded. So basically, he's a ridgeling, and what that means is he has one of his testicles or kind of up in his abdomen area. They're not in the uh, like the scrotum sac. So um, some horses race great like that. American Pharoah and the Thoroughbreds was a ridgeling. Cam Fella, Standardbred was a ridgeling. A lot of great horses have been ridgelings, but some horses that kind of bothers them a little bit. Paul th- Paul's thinking it bothers him a little bit, so he wants to get it done right now. He waited because you just never know where he's got the pedigree that he could be a stallion down the line. So Paul was kind of waiting and waiting and waiting, versus gelding him like in February and March, like we did with Moneyman. He was kind of Paul was waiting to see like, oh, you know, is he is he going to be so good that we think he can be a stallion where we're just going to deal with it type of thing. But he's kind of showing some indicators that maybe he'll be, maybe it's bothering him a little bit. So Paul said, you know what, let's just do it now. If we wait during the season, it's gonna slow things down with him. So let's just do it now real quick. Get it out the way. He'll just be out of training for like 10 days or so, and then he'll be back at it. So, but he should, assuming all goes well, he should still be on track to qualify at some point in July. He's doing really well. Uh, Two Pistol Annie. We just so she had that race yesterday on 2 days ago or on the Friday on the 20th, where I mean, it was crazy. She went from the 7 hole, blasted to the front, parked out the entire time. Brett Holland parked out her and Tyler Buter, and they're both were on a suicide, drive, and eventually both of them ended up like 6-7, tiring each other out. Where Cooper Delaney went, I think like a 55 first half. It was crazy, and like 55 at Yonkers is you don't see that. So that was a really monstrous first half she did. But she got tired, but she still beat that horse. She still eventually passed that horse and beat that horse. It's just, you just can't really, nothing you can do when that kind of happens. So, she'll be back in on Monday for Friday next week, and she's really good. We were able to get actually a third additional of her for 39,000, which is a bargain. Because I mean, horses like this are hard to find. She made $100,000 the last 3 years, over $300,000 in her career, She can do 55 halves at Yonkers. She can do 51 at 5/8. She can do, she can do 53, 54 miles in Yonkers. So she's a really nice pacing mare, and you know, we're we're very happy to have her. So she'll be back in on Monday for Friday. Just gotta hope for a better draw. We'll probably go with Tyler Buter again, just because he drove our last race, so we'll give him another chance. And let's just hope for a one inside post 1 through 5 should be fine. So anyway, this is the summary of all the horses for last week, and you know, uh, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy.